Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
A mysterious enemy has been sending agents into Las Vegas, working to stoke the fires of distrust and heat up the long-standing Cold War between the supernatural factions of Sin City, and she will not permit interference with her plans. After the gang foiled 2 of her plots, she sent the most dangerous breed of assassin after them, a skinwalker, a powerful, nigh unkillable, shape-shifting witch of the blackest variety. They survived only by fleeing to Avalon, the home of Cayden's employer and Joan's fairy godmother, the Lady Morgan Le Fay. Now trapped in Morgan's realm, they must find a way back without finding a swift end at the hands of the assassin waiting for them. They're still alive. Yes, they're still alive, the Skinwalker growled. They fled through a way to Avalon. I can't touch them as long as they're Morgan's guests. But I promise you, once they leave that place, they are mine. The she-lady mused. That is enough. And who knows? Perhaps their unseelie hosts will do your job for you.
Help.
All right.
Help us.
Where do we start?
Yes, excellent
Where did
question.
we leave off exactly? We were discussing something. I know
We are in Avalon. Well, we had decided to try to
Cut down a tree and burn it.
get some white ash.
All right, Joan. Have you talked to the tree yet?
Well, that indicates there was a time skip. Are we doing a little time skip, or are we just starting straight where we left off?
Oh, let's hurry. Why are we gonna just casually hang out? Like, let's go.
Yeah, time skip.
Is there a reason why you feel so pressed for time?
Maybe.
Maybe we're in the autumn court of the unseen.
Yeah. Kind of want to get out of here.
And maybe Elianna keeps still feeling like, man, I really shouldn't be here.
I should not be here. This is the place I should probably not be the most.
This is not fine.
It's kind of the worst place.
Ian's kind of like, as long as we're nowhere near the Skinwalker, we're fine for now.
Here's the thing.
Comparative
Joan said, you don't want this lady to know who you are. We're at her house. So, I want to just keep the action moving personally.
Technically, we are in the nation that she's the sovereign ruler of.
That's
which is
even worse. That's even worse.
We still have to find a way out while getting Joan out without getting killed.
Time skip. Time skip.
Time skip to when? Wait, what?
After Joan talks to a tree.
Okay, once we skipped to Joan left a bit and came back, I'm guessing. Okay, yeah. I was able to find a tree that is willing to assist us.
Oh, good.
Great.
That is good. All right. Oh, boy. I suppose I should probably inform you all on what we're going to be getting ourselves into with the Skinwalker, correct?
Oh, I'm pretty experienced now with what we're getting into.
I think we are quite familiar with the Skinwalker, and especially Cayden, rather intimately.
I feel like we could have more details. Just a few. Like, seeing it, that's one thing.
I have to agree with Elianna. Like, well, yes, Cayden has had a bit of firsthand experience with this thing.
He his back, he kind of pinches a little bit as he thinks about what happened.
There's nothing wrong with a little more information.
Well, then by all means.
All right. So, aside from Cayden's recent firsthand experience, some of the powers known of a skinwalker is that they can change form based on the skin they are wearing. It can be either animal or even human.
Hence the name.
Yeah. Well, another one of their very dangerous powers is that they can control you just by looking at you in the eye.
Well, that's ironic.
So how are we supposed to fight it again, based on that?
Well, I would assume Cayden would have a slight upper hand over us, considering his eye handicapness.
Compared to the constant disadvantage of not being able to see anything else.
Yeah.
Well, we could always just not look in its eyes, too.
Yeah, that's it.
The king is yeah.
All right.
It's just yes.
I don't know, you've never been to an awkward social engagement, like a party or something, where you never met anyone's eyes in the party?
No.
I'm never awkward.
I have never done this.
And
okay.
I
forgot you two are rich supermodel people.
And I'm usually living on the road in a tent, so I don't exactly see.
Oh yeah, and you're on the opposite end. You don't go to social engagements.
Yes.
I just don't meet anyone's eyes, period, really. So.
Well, you don't have to face the issue.
I know. I'm just stating since everyone was at least admitting where they stood in all this.
Anyway.
To feel included.
Yeah, but anyway, you forgive me, Rian, but you have yet to tell us anything that we can't deduce.
Well, there's also the two only known ways to kill a skinwalker, weapons covered in white ash.
Yeah, you've told us that.
You've told us that already.
Sometimes it is not a bad idea to review.
What's the other way? Wait, what's the second way?
By revealing its true
right.
human
The
name.
name.
Which way is actually more effective at killing it?
Well, when I encountered this skinwalker a few years ago, I killed it using white ash-covered bullets. Straight to the head. Of course.
Excellent.
Well, of course, he just quickly unbuttons the top half of his shirt, reveals his bare chest with 3 large scars going diagonal right to the left. Of course, it wasn't without consequences.
Wow, I feel great.
I suggest we stay outside of striking range when we shoot it.
Could be easier said
idea.
than done. These things are quite fast.
We've seen that too.
Let's burn a tree down then, shall we?
Yes, let's go.
Does anyone have an axe or something?
No.
I do have my hunting knife still on me.
I mean, as entertaining as that would be, seeing you chop down a tree with a hunting knife, we might want to find some more adequate tools.
Okay.
Sorry, Joan, this is your home turf.
Sort of. I'll see if I can get, I don't know, I guess I'll see if I can coerce some goblins into giving us some axes.
Fun.
Please hurry. I feel like this would be a good time to mention that every minute we stay here could become hours. Back in Vegas, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing too. Time works wrong here.
Yes, and I have a very important dinner to get to tomorrow night, so if we could move quickly.
Voltaire's just looking from Joan to Elianna. Back to Joan. Back to Elianna.
Rian?
Why are we still standing here?
If it was possible for you to even see his eyes, there is an eye roll occurring under his goggles. But no one, of course, noticed that.
Nope.
Okay, is someone coming with me, or am I?
I would love to come with you, Lead
Okay.
Rian's gonna button his shirt. Then he brings a hand to his chin and just goes, in really concerned concentration.
Okay, we leave.
You
Over
missed
something.
a few skinwalker facts, by the way.
Oh, can you remind me real quick? That was literally the first things I could easily remember. But I'm sure it was enough.
I'm
The
having
fear thing.
Oh, yes, the fear thing.
I'm having one of those. You had one job.
One job to do.
Felt the need to
Sorry.
restate the way things we already knew, but forgot some of the things that
Right.
characters don't know.
Yeah, and okay, so right as there... Oh, there is one other factor I need to be explicit about.
What?
The more frightened you are of the Skinwalker itself, the more powerful it will become. So with Cayden's reaction to the Skinwalker...
You don't know that.
You
don't know that.
Yeah, you don't...
Well, we
You
caught
don't know
him
that.
kind of running away from it.
No, we didn't. We caught him standing on the
You
sidewalk.
weren't there. You arrived late.
I got
So
you know nothing about
and all that. So I listened through. All that Cayden had said was that he ran. He hasn't expressed exactly what occurred in the actual apartment
Emotionally.
itself.
Running is enough to explicit. He probably ran in fear.
Not
No.
necessarily. When you're
It's not a
fighting a
given.
giant shape-shifting monster,
And you have no weapons that work against it.
the intelligent thing to do. Just logically speaking, if you're a robot with no emotions, the logical course of action is to get far away.
He
from
who
this
fights
thing.
and runs away lives to fight another day.
Great. Love that.
Excellent. Let's go.
And so after those two leave, Rian's kind of just talking to himself. There is still one thing that concerns me, though.
You want to share with the class?
For the love, get to the point.
No, it's just after attacking Cayden and you, it came after me right away, and that's kind of concerning, considering how if this is a Skinwalker that's never met any of us before, how it found me so easily in all the traffic in Vegas.
Weren't you in the back of the group?
Hmm?
We were all running away, or driving away. Your car was the furthest back, therefore the easiest to catch.
And we were standing around. We a bunch of your car pulls up behind my car, and we get out and we talk to each other.
How could it have found me out while chasing them?
A gigantic truck in the middle of Las Vegas
Isn't that bad?
following.
Okay,
It's also possible that they know who we are.
Yeah, it seems like
It's after all of us.
it's after all of us. I don't think it really...
So why not go after Elianna, who was in front of me?
Because you were closer and therefore easier to catch.
And my car isn't falling apart, no offense. Can we get moving?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Can we leave now?
Sure.
Thank you.
Rian's still going to be thinking over this, though.
Yeah,
You're welcome. Yeah, you can think as much as you want. Let's get going.
Okay, so Joan
But still,
and
traffic was how bad usually at that time?
No, it was
Moving on.
They know who we are! You as a player know that.
Moving on.
There are other things that are going through the head right now.
All right. They're going
All
through
right.
the head.
For yourself for now.
okay,
Whatever. Go get
Joan
the tree.
Joan and Frenchie over here.
accepts it.
Okay, so they go down to a lower area of the city. As you look, you see the area of the city also has to do with the status of the Fae that are there. The lower castes down in the lower levels of the city. So this will be a straight
You said
line
a city? I
check.
thought we were in the middle of a castle.
We're in the middle of
fortress.
essentially a nation.
It's so one. In ancient times, those two were pretty much the same thing. In a lot of places, think
Cities.
an island version of Minas Tirith. I've talked about, there's the levels of it, but it is also structured like an ancient fortress. Anyways, so they go. This will be a streetwise check to find what we're looking for. Do you have any streetwise?
Absolutely none.
Okay. Joan will get 2 Udai because
She knows the place?
she knows this place fairly well.
That's fair.
It's been 3 years since she was here, but 3 years in... Not much changes in a magical realm in 3 years.
Say, how long would that have been in the magical realm then?
Undetermined. It isn't that there's a set, period of time that passes. It's not for every minute that passes in Fairyland, an hour passes in the real world. It's unpredictable. We could be here for years and then pop out 3 seconds after we arrived.
That would suck.
It could be either a Narnia situation or a
Rip Van Winkle.
situation.
That was what I thought as well.
Van Winkle.
I was thinking
He's the man
Jumanji.
that fell asleep and woke up like 100 years later.
Yeah. So we could be here for a day and like come back years later.
Oh, fun. All right.
Basically, the only constant is the more time we spend in the fairy realm, the bigger the difference between the time spent and the time that passes are.
Oh.
So, like, if we spent, for example, a minute in Fairyland before immediately going back, then we're gonna be in the realm of like 2-3 minutes max and like a little bit under a minute at the least. But if we're here for years, then we could be there for centuries or for less than a second.
We've already been here like an hour, gosh.
When we're wandering into the lower areas of the city, we come across a group of goblins playing bones, or something very similar to bones, but older.
It works.
Probably the version of Bones that was played 1,000 years ago.
Excellent.
They haven't updated the rules since then.
Why update it?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, more like they don't know.
They're
Fae. They don't understand how humans process time.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, so these goblins. Do you do anything, or are you just standing behind Joan? Joan do the talking.
I mean, he's shutting up.
Okay.
He's shutting up because for all he knows, the moment he opens his mouth, some evil, nasty fairy lady is gonna swoop in, charm him, and he's toast.
On the way down, you did see like some like dark crevices where just eyes peered out.
Oh yeah,
and one house that actually looked pretty nice. With like an old woman, like a wrinkled old hag at the window, like who smiled at you.
Did it happen to be made of candy?
No, but a pleasant smell was coming out of it.
Okay, all right.
Even if he just doesn't even say a word, just the mouth opens and suddenly this woman comes and says, "Hey,
Yeah.
So how you doing?"
This is a rare occasion where Voltaire is not opening his mouth.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's like, muttering to each other.
I love that.
Joan walks up and just like kind of
Squares her shoulders. And...
just a different like appearance comes over her. Like despite the fact that she's wearing the same clothes, she just looks a lot more regal and powerful than she did before.
Posture, it's everything.
Goblins. I require your assistance.
What do you want? What do you want from us?
Your weapons.
What?
He like kind of like grabs at his axe at his belt.
What do you want my weapon for?
Do I need to explain?
I love this.
This is
Fun.
Yes.
Joan.
Yes.
Hello.
This is scary Joan right now.
I love it.
Yes, please.
I'm liking the side of Joan.
Do not test my patience, creature.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Guys, give her your weapons.
Slaps one of the other goblins, and they toss like these like kind of jagged swords, and one of them has an axe. And Joan gestures for you to pick up the axe.
Oh yeah, he's going. He's looking over his shoulder. He's just like, okay.
Joan just like then turns around without acknowledging the goblins further, and starts walking.
Oh, yep. Hot on her heels. Yeah, he's sticking to Joan like glue.
Wow.
Straight too far and you're dead.
Tables turn.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
I mean, Voltaire's he's a pretty prideful guy, but he's smart enough to know when he is way off the deep end.
They like go past this like river as they go up. The river starts at this like pond. We go past the pond, and a beautiful woman partially emerges from the pond. But she has like light green skin and like dark wavy green hair.
Okay.
She like looks at Voltaire.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
it's like, hey, you wanna come join me for a swim?
He's just opening his mouth, closing his mouth. Repeatedly, he's just like...
She smiles and like her teeth are also green, but like, she just has this like allure to her, like just you just feel like drawn to her.
Oh dear.
Trust me, any other occasion, I would love to. But right now, I have things to do.
Are you sure the water's quite nice?
Am I sure? Absolutely not.
You're gonna have to make a discipline check.
Oh yeah. This is definitely,
Here we go.
Definitely a discipline check.
I knew discipline was gonna come in.
Okay, I have rank 2 and 2 willpower.
It's not the worst.
Oh!
Never mind. Okay.
All of these checks are gonna be just like that. I swear.
No, but seriously, beautiful woman is just like, hey there. Weakness. Total weakness for Voltaire.
That was literally what I said. Just as soon as he kind of felt like maybe a tiny bit comfortable, it was like, hey.
Honestly, though, he's just like, okay, we got the axe. We're doing pretty okay.
All right, we're doing great. And then suddenly,
I'm flipping one.
So you just feel like your will just drain away, and you start walking towards the waters. She reaches out a hand, and you're like right about to grab it when like Joan grabs you by the shoulder. Looks disapprovingly at the lady in the water. Jenny, not today.
Can you please tell me what just happened?
Voltaire, this is Jenny. Don't trust her, and you're an idiot.
Say anything and you're dead.
Yeah, just you lead the way.
Okay. He just walks away, shaking his head. He's just like, what on earth?
We're not on Earth.
She's gorgeous. Oh my word.
All right, and so then we arrive back in the pavilion.
Voltaire still has a hand on his temple. He's just like, oh.
You'll probably begin practicing his knife fighting skill.
So during the time while they're away, Cayden would like to initiate some conversation since they are going to be away for a little bit. He's actually going to he's not going to turn. He's just going to indicate Rian.
Yes, Cayden?
I know that you're pretty concerned now that you're dealing with a skinwalker again, but you seem more agitated about it than I anticipated.
The fact that there's another one...
I understand that, and all of our wonderful allies made a good explanation as to why it attacked you, but I want to hear it from a hunter's perspective. What did it feel like when it was attacking you? Did it feel personal at all?
Definitely felt a little personal. She tried everything to stay on top of me, even though I was lucky enough to throw her off. But yeah, it didn't want to let go. But after I got it off the back of my truck, I guess it just stopped, which is surprising. But at the same time, I'd be lying if I said I definitely wasn't concerned.
Now, you didn't actually answer my question before. I specifically asked which of the two methods of killing was more effective.
I'm afraid that's one I can't quite answer. Can't quite give a definite answer to.
All right.
You were planning on striking up a conversation with it to get its name?
No, I was just...
You are more than welcome to try that, Elianna. Whether or not you'll survive, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go just shooting it.
Well, not everyone we get that luxury.
Can Voltaire and Joan walk in at that time? Voltaire walks in and he's just like, what are we shooting?
The
skinwalker.
Same thing. You.
I get distracted by a beautiful water lady. One time.
Did you almost get drowned or something?
Yes, he did. He decided that it would be a good idea to go for a swim with Jenny Greenteeth.
Cayden just sighs.
Maybe we should add not looking at anyone to the list of not talking to anyone, not looking at anyone.
I'm just glad he didn't go into one of the hag's houses. You were pretty interested in the smell coming out of one of those huts.
What? It smelled good.
Yes, it's all a trap. Remember where we are.
Yes, I'm aware of where we are. You notice? It was just the water lady.
Me at 6 years old. Better job here than you at 300 and something.
There is a reason. There's a reason I try to never deal with fairies. There's a reason.
Cayden's kind of actually just chuckling in his corner, just enjoying what's happening.
So, you got the axes.
Yes.
Let's go chop down the tree.
Yeah, the tree's just around here. The big, strong guys can chop down the tree for us.
Cayden just nudges Rian.
Right now.
I think Voltaire might be a 2.
Everyone's is a 2, I think, except for Cayden and Rian.
No.
Oh, in terms of brawn?
Oh, Rian's also a 2?
Yeah, he's a 10.
Cayden, am I the only one with 3?
What?
Yeah, looks like it.
What? Okay. What would this be? Would this be an athletics check or a melee light check or something? What is it? Like
What kind of athletics? This isn't about your skill with a weapon. This is about how much oomph you can put behind swinging this.
All right, let me see if I can whack this.
This is more narrative. You don't actually have to make a check.
Okay.
All right.
What this really was Joan making an excuse to have to do the sweaty work herself.
Of course it was.
Well, Cayden's gonna be like, well, it's kind of problematic that I can't see where I'm swinging, so he just nudges Rian.
Rian rolls his eyes and goes over to grab one of the two.
Nice.
So the axe?
Sure, the axe.
Okay.
That's usually what one uses to chop down the tree.
Yeah, so the tree's just a bit down the ways. Joan leads you to it.
Voltaire looks at Joan. Are there any more extremely beautiful threats that I should be aware of?
A spirit comes out of the tree in the shape of a beautiful woman made out of leaves and twigs and stuff.
Voltaire drops the axe and walks back to the group. He just drops it, walks back to the group, sits down with his head in his hands.
Rian just keeps his eyes pointed downward.
Yeah, Joan nods to the spirit. Thank you. And the spirit has this really high pitched laugh, and then just turns into just leaves that get carried away on a breeze.
I guess Rian's doing this one solo.
Yep.
You all right over there, Voltaire?
No. No, the sooner we get out of this thrash-damned place, the happier I will be.
You can borrow my shades if you want.
I can borrow your what?
My shades. If it'll help you stop looking.
Rian's chopping down part of the tree or the whole tree, or how much tree am I taking?
Whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
You want enough ash to coat everyone's weapons.
How long is that going to take?
It's not a large tree.
Okay.
Joan specifically picked not one of the giant trees. It's more it was one of the trees just lining the walkway.
Okay.
Basically,
Mm-hmm.
that size of tree.
All right, one of those trees. Okay. All right, Rian chops away.
Is it enough time for Elianna to ask Cayden a question real quick?
Yeah, enough time for that's pretty much all there's time for.
Cayden, could I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
When you tried to call me, you said somebody picked up. Can I ask what exactly they said?
No one really picked up. It was just the answer machine. Something like a man was saying, "This is the Connors residence. Please leave a message." I didn't leave one. Didn't seem
All right,
necessary.
thank you.
Well, okay.
That's it.
Is there someone you were worried about or something?
Oh, no, I was just wondering.
This is for when we get back with the tree, right?
Once you cut the tree down, then you have to start chopping it up into
You gotta chop it up into bits.
burnable bit.
Yeah, probably 1 foot long pieces.
So I guess while he's doing that, Cayden will have a follow-up question. And there's small breaks in the conversation when we hear the tree fall.
Timber!
So, Elianna, how are you feeling in this place?
Well, not great. This is sort of the unseelie realm, so no, not amazing, personally. But, I'll survive. How are you?
Well, I'd say this is only a slight improvement from the rest of my night.
Yeah.
Not by much, but yeah.
Well, we'll get that taken care of, hopefully pretty quickly.
Hopefully.
Right after this is when you hear a voice from a side street that you didn't notice was there before.
Uh-oh.
Now, what brings a beautiful young summer flower like yourself into this place?
No, please.
Who the heck is this?
A beautiful young summer flower.
I love the
Wow,
voice
okay.
already.
Does Cayden recognize this voice?
No.
Okay, just check.
What?
Some fairies like to visit the realm of mortals. Some visit rarely. And this one hasn't visited since before the Civil War.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy comes up. He's got like kind of a Southern gentleman outfit on.
Nice.
And he's got like this hat on. His outfit is like pretty regular colors except for his hat, which is a bright red. And yeah, and he's very, very handsome young man. And his eyes are a icy blue, just slightly too large. Just enough to be slightly off-putting.
Is there something we can help you with?
I was just admiring your beauty from afar, and I thought I'd see it a little closer.
Well, Elianna turns around. She's like, "Got your look. Is there anything else you need, or
Well, I was thinking there might be something that y'all needed.
like what?"
Suppose that depends on you. I happen to be a purveyor of all kinds of useful things.
Like what?
Information would be one.
And what type of currency does information usually require?
Well, I suppose there's really two sorts of currency I rather work with. One is, of course, favors. Never go wrong with a favor. And the other is, well, I do have to keep my little cap here fresh. He tips his cap to you, and when he does that, a red drop falls from it. Blood money.
What? Does he collect blood?
If you want, you could make a knowledge supernatural check to
I would
know.
like to. What the heck is this?
I don't know. Could I assist in any way with that check? I'm curious.
This could be a check you're doing together.
I have 2 yellow.
Oh, mine's the same. I just add a blue die then.
Any help helps, right?
Yeah, true.
Cayden's likely to know a bit more about this than Elianna.
Mr. Dash.
Okay. This guy is what is known as a red cap.
Oh, flip. It is that, isn't it? Oh, man.
So they most often appear as like nasty old men, but they can appear in a more approachable form. They are unseelie fae that are known to kill people. They waylay them on the roadside and murder them. And their caps are not naturally red. They are red because they are soaked in the blood of their victims. And according to some legends, they need to have their caps consistently soaked in blood in order to survive.
Is there anything in this realm that doesn't want to kill us?
And these guys are actually particularly interesting when it comes to Fae because they are outsiders of a sort. They are paranoid about other Fae. So they wear iron boots, sometimes iron gloves as well, even though it burns them. They're not immune to iron, but they are much
They have a higher
hardier.
tolerance.
Yeah, they have a tolerance for wearing it all the time. After you realize that, it's if you look down then you see that his rather fashionable southern boots are made of iron.
How do we know that you could acquire the information we need, assuming we need information?
Well, that would be part of the deal. Of course, I would never make a deal with someone to give them information if I didn't have the information. I cannot lie, after all, and that would be lying.
All right. Well, will you step away a little bit so I can confer with my companions about this?
I don't know if it means anything, but your blood in particular would be, well, it's got a special zang to it.
And how much blood would any kind of valuable information be?
Not enough to kill you, of course. Not usually, at least.
Well, I'm going to need to
It
talk
would be a
to
shame to let such a beautiful summer flower such as yourself wilt so early in its bloom.
Cayden had been growing visibly more and more tense as the conversation had been going.
Well, if you'll give us a little space, my friends and I will discuss your proposal.
Of course. Before he turns around to leave, then he pauses and sniffs. And then his eye turns to Voltaire.
You look and Voltaire's just watching him through his fingers.
Now that's something I've not smelled in a long time. Dear Flower, if you don't want to use your own blood for this deal, your friends there would be more than sufficient.
Alrighty, well.
Today we get something so radiant in these parts.
That bird will get you everywhere.
Oh, I know.
Woof.
Cayden's visibly gripping his chair.
As soon as Elianna gets out of earshot of him and within earshot of Voltaire, can I kill him?
No, you can't, because
Joan?
someone will probably kill you.
Joan puts a hand on your shoulder and just you don't want to try.
Oh, I
Say,
really
Rian's
do.
probably right next door with a bundle of wood in his arms at this
What
point.
would you use to kill him?
Oh, I'd think of something.
Iron's what you normally use to kill Faye, right? Look at those boots. Look at his gloves. He's not exactly your typical situation there.
Ooh, I'd still love to try.
Well,
Rian puts the wood down and he asks, who is this friend over here?
he deals in information, apparently. I don't like his prices personally.
I am very pleased to be named as your friend.
I told you to step aside, didn't I? Do you want a deal, or do you want to stick around?
All right. I'll be around. Then he steps back into the alley, which is no longer there.
Wonderful.
Okay, how do we feel? Do we want to ask? Do we want to ask?
It ain't worth it.
I don't think so either. I mean, it's not worth... I personally can't afford to owe any unseelie a favor. Just sort of being the nature of who I am. But someone is trying to kill us, so...
And having a little more information
Specifically.
would definitely help.
It still ain't worth it.
I think about the only thing that's worth doing is shoving his iron boots down his throat.
Cayden kind of actually nods along. He's like, I kind of like that idea, actually.
Maybe we'll do that later.
I think that we need a way out of here. And from what I can remember about what I've heard of this guy, if someone would know a way out, it would be him. But he's going to ask some steep prices.
He looked at me worse than some of the vampires. At least he's dressed better, but still.
I know you'd think he'd get a wardrobe update in the last couple hundred years.
I think that's what he's looking to do with Voltaire's blood. So, anyone feel like owing a favor to this guy?
Owing a favor to anyone in the organization, in the order, is worse enough. If it's a choice between owing him a favor and giving him some of my blood, I'd rather have him drain me.
Oh my.
Alright. So that's
Well,
an
your
option.
blood would probably be worth more than regular. What with your, I don't know exactly what, but your blood glowed last time we saw you bleed, so...
You did seem kind of partial to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Joan.
Speaking of which, why does your blood... I forgot to ask that before. Why does your blood glow?
That is a longer story than we have time for right now.
And we do need to get out to Fear as soon as possible. Oh, is that accenting that time?
So, a little bit of Voltaire's blood. Anybody else want to put anything on the table?
If it comes to it, I think of my favors would be worth the most to this guy.
And you're the one that we need to get out of here. Need information from him to get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah.
You guys can leave anytime. I'm the one who this is an issue for, so I guess, yeah, I would.
Well,
if we need to do a favor, then I'm willing to.
If worse comes to worse, we can do that. I've lost blood for less noble purposes before.
We don't know how much he's probably going to take as much as he can get.
If he tries to take too much, I'll shove his iron bullets down his throat.
But then we won't get our information.
But it'll make me feel better.
Still.
Okay, this is why Elianna and I are in charge whenever we're dealing with the Fae.
One time.
Okay, the person that we need information from, your predominant desire is to shove his boots down his throat.
If he has an iron boot in his throat, I think he's going to have some trouble talking, sweetie.
That was my point.
Just saying, when it comes to, so far, female Fae, your reasoning can't be trusted. Male Fae, your reasoning can't be trusted. We have yet to check if the non-binary Fae you can have your with. But that's still a pretty large percentage of the Fae population that we have determined that your logic cannot be trusted in relation to.
Fine. Just make sure he doesn't kill me. That would be... I wouldn't live it down.
Of course you wouldn't. You'd be dead.
We're not going to let him kill you.
Yeah, I want to leave, but I don't... It's not in my plan for you to die, so I can leave.
Besides, if I'm remembering correctly, did your godmother promise that we were under her protection as long as you were with us? Or at least safe from her?
Safe from her. You are under my protection.
Okay. So you could, if he tries to kill Voltaire, you could kill him and everything would be fine.
Yes, that would be completely within my rights.
Excellent. I think that sounds like the best deal.
Why do you get to have all the fun?
Because I have an amount of standing here. You are...
Less than the dirt?
I wasn't going to say that, but...
Yeah,
I was going to say you're barely a guest.
I don't know. The way your godmother looked at me, I felt a little bit like a grease stain, or like I was shortly to become one.
Well, that's also just how my godmother is. She's sort of intense that way.
Cayden only nods.
Anyway, where is he?
Never left.
What did I say? That's very rude of you.
I stepped away just like you asked. I went down this alley right here.
Fair enough.
Just so happened to be that this alley isn't that far away from y'all.
Well, we've come to a decision. We're willing to offer up a little bit of my friend's blood here in exchange for... Joan, what exactly are we looking for?
You know what we want, or else you wouldn't have come to us. Well, that is an astute observation, my lady. Y'all need to get your little behinds back to little Mortalville, down where the humans go. I've got the only way out of Avalon that Miss High and Mighty don't know about.
Voltaire starts rolling up his sleeve.
Technically, it's not my way out, but I'm in very good graces with the one who does own it.
And who would that happen to be?
Well, that's needs to know information. In the sense that our deal is not yet finalized. Now, I would like two things. One, a favor from the proclaimed daughter, the adopted daughter of the lady herself. This is quite a large favor. And his eyes just like fixate on Voltaire.
Oh, Voltaire's looking daggers.
And some of your angelic blood. Add a little bit of that to my cap, and that could sustain me for a good long while.
If anybody's looking at Voltaire, you can just see he really wants to kill this guy.
You can see Coolbar's dad is going from his eye.
He pulls out from behind him a scythe, like a hand scythe.
Well, Voltaire's looking at Joan and Elianna, and it's like, the look is this a deal we're going through?
What precisely are you offering us?
That's smart of you. Good to get the particulars down. To be precise, I'm offering you a one-way ticket out of Avalon.
But to where?
Well, I guess that depends on you. Y'all want to end up in the middle of Wales or over in that casino down in Vegas?
Which casino were we in front of? Which?
Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Okay, cool. All right. Here's what we want from you. We want safe passage from here to the outside of the Excalibur in Las Vegas, and we want you to escort us to this method of safe passage and make sure we get through it without any trouble.
I would say that is a reasonable bargain. He holds out his hand. Do we have a deal then? He glances between Joan and Voltaire, because they're the ones who have to pay the prices. Joan looks at Voltaire.
The things I do to get out of these places. He pulls out a rather ornate-looking dagger.
Ooh.
Oh no, we'll use mine.
Is it made out of iron?
Unfortunately not.
And Joan holds up her hand. Before we can shake, we need a clarification. How much blood are you taking from Voltaire here? He snaps his fingers like, shucks. Just enough to make your friend here lightheaded.
And no more?
Enough to make him very lightheaded, and no more.
Voltaire, how do you feel about that?
I feel extremely uncomfortable about this entire situation.
You're telling me.
I would also really like to get out of here as soon as possible. And I would also like to use my own cutting implement.
No, that ain't part of the deal, son.
The only thing you asked for was my blood. You specified no particular way of getting it.
This is correct, but you see, I'm not exactly a vampire. I don't just drink your blood. There's a bit of a ritualistic aspect to what I do.
He's looking back and forth from Elianna to Joan, is looking for some sort of confirmation that this guy had been blowing steam.
You say you'll take just enough to make him very lightheaded and no more. I'm assuming you won't kill him in this process or render him otherwise incapacitated?
No, your friend will not die from this, and he won't fall unconscious during the bloodletting process. I don't know exactly how much of a constitution he has. He might fall unconscious afterwards, but...
I suppose what I'm asking is, other than the amount of blood that we've agreed upon, is he going to emerge from this ritual otherwise whole and complete?
Yes, my blade does not have any poisonous aspect to it or any of that, if that's what you're asking. He will be...
So the answer to my question is yes.
Recover. Yes.
All right.
Science have always made me nervous.
If anyone had even been looking in Cayden's direction, there's just a crazy amount of conflicting emotions and just a tense atmosphere around him.
There is.
And there are no strings or small print or anything that you're not telling us that we should know going into this deal?
I think I've made the particulars of the arrangement relatively clear.
I'm looking for a yes or a no.
Oof. Well, that is unfair, my lady. You know that ain't really part of our nature to give such clear and definite answers.
I know, but you're taking quite a lot of my friend's blood, and I'm a bit worried about him.
Oh, he will be fine. He will recover just as much as he would any other time, drained of enough blood to get very lightheaded.
I would like you to agree not to tell anyone about this deal. Perhaps other than your friend that is going to make our passage possible.
Yes, well, about a time limit.
How long?
Let's say I don't speak to anyone about this subject for a week in your mortal realm.
Elianna looks at Joan.
It's enough for me.
Anyone else have any further clarifications they wish to make?
Every time I open my mouth, I seem to get myself in trouble.
Joan rolls her eyes.
Elianna smiles.
Let's get it over with, then. Voltaire rolls up his sleeves and just sticks out his forearms.
In one neat slash, cuts into both of them.
Hold on. Handshaking. Handshaking.
Oh, yeah.
Handshaking. Completing the deal.
I mentally skipped a step because with arm.
Quit skipping steps.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, handshake with Voltaire and the red cap, and then handshake with Joan and the red cap. Tips his cap to them both, and he slices Voltaire's wrists and puts his cap beneath the blood as it falls.
Elianna looks away. This is horrible.
And then
Cayden actually puts a hand on her shoulder to in a kind of comforting gesture.
The glowing white blood falls from Voltaire's wrists.
Rian is just thinking of maybe asking this guy for a favor after their deal is done for a little information.
Interesting.
Okay.
Once Voltaire starts swaying from how lightheaded he is, he passes the scythe over the wounds and they close, leaving 2 scars, so they don't perfectly heal. You stop bleeding.
Oh, how fashionable.
And so, what is your wound threshold?
I said whole and complete.
Well, he's not.
My wound threshold is 14.
Okay. Your wounds are now at 10.
Excellent.
Boy.
I'm going to be saving this favor for a particularly useful time. Now, I smell a deal over here. What is it that you want, you fine young man?
Rian?
Yeah, Joan is also looking at him are you an idiot?
Elianna looks very concerned.
Again?
Cayden is
this
looking
is a bad idea.
Do you want to tell us what you're looking for before you before you talk to this person over here? No offense.
None taken, madam.
I can tell this is a bad idea. Think about who you're talking to.
Yeah, I just have to say, we made a deal with him because it's a really bad idea for us to stay here any longer. Why in Avalon? Why in Avalon do you want to make a deal with this?
Quit saying stuff that makes me laugh. I can't play serious when I'm laughing.
Voltaire's just looking at you, just swaying. He's swaying.
Elianna goes to stabilize Voltaire a little bit.
Cayden goes to stand in front of Rian and lifts his head a little bit, and it almost feels like he actually can look at you in your eyes. Rian, whatever information it is that you want, this is not the way you're going to get it.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I do have quite a lot of information.
That's not what I intended. I imagine you have it. My point is that this is not the way you should get it, Rian.
What are shoulds and should nots, really?
Depending on the people involved.
And what information would you be offering?
You haven't asked me a question yet.
You just see Rian juggling between how much he really desperately wants this. At the same time, he knows he definitely can agree with Cayden that this is not exactly the greatest way to get it.
This is an incredibly stupid way to get it. There's no ifing and awing about this. It's dumb.
Depends on the question.
Right. By the way, Joan now owes a big favor to this guy.
Ooh, this is a steep price. Ooh. Cayden's not happy about this at all.
They're smuggling her out of Avalon. So
Yeah.
that was
True. It's true.
We would like to get the show on the road, as they say.
Just so you know, Nathaniel, the way in which Cayden was saying it, I hope I was able to convey the gravity with which he actually was speaking it.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of experience being added into what he's saying.
He does work for Morgan. So
He's a walking advertisement for why this is an incredibly dumb idea.
He has some experience in this department.
Yeah, I think after just another moment of thinking, Rian would just be like, perhaps another time.
Aha! A smart decision.
I'll keep you up on that.
Shall we get going?
You another time.
Yes. Shall we get going? I like Elianna's idea.
Joan points to the as of yet unburnt pile of wood.
That's kind of important too.
Yeah, I imagine like Voltaire just kind of woozy as he's just saying all these things. It's slurring a little bit here and there, maybe.
Incredibly. I mean, while he was leaning against Elianna, he was humming French opera.
Maybe we should sit down.
Or we're gonna have to dig a hole.
We don't have shovels, and it is a stone pavilion, correct?
Did I ever say it was?
I don't think you
I
specified.
don't remember you
I was
specifying.
guessing. I wasn't
thought
sure.
we were in the woods, so I don't know.
I'd say like most of the, except for like the street itself, this is mostly earth.
All right. I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
Like the ground, it's mostly like there are walls. Like the walls are stone, but like the floor is mostly earth, even inside the buildings.
Okay.
That's cool.
After all, we don't want to burn more than we need.
I don't think you could burn more if you tried.
I don't think I'd be willing to try. In this place, at least.
Can we get to burning now?
We do seem to like to talk. But yes, Elianna, I think I should sit down.
It helps him sit down.
Where? So are we in the pavilion right now? Or
We're a bit outside the pavilion.
okay.
So success. Joan pulls out her wand and silver energy flies out of it, and the sticks, like the pots and pans in the sword and the stone, with Merlin, they just
still haven't seen it.
into the pavilion. Yeah, it just direct levitates them all into a pile, and then like snaps her fingers and.
Well done.
All right.
Well done.
Will this magical fire burn faster than normal fire?
I don't know what shows you've been watching. It's fire.
Fire.
Yeah, we might be here a little while longer.
That might not be a terrible idea. I could use it. No.
As he passes out.
I could help you with that. Small price, just a little bit, a drop or two of the summer flower's blood.
You are
exactly. What? What did Voltaire say?
As soon as he finished what he said, you just hear Voltaire laying flat on his back. He's just like, "You are free to leave. Any you no longer desire your company."
I was under the impression you wanted me to lead you out of here.
We still need him.
Do you really want me to leave?
No.
I guess my personal desires are outweighed by the desires of the group.
You need my blood in exchange for what exactly?
Well, you said you wanted the process to be sped up. I could do that.
You said a couple drops?
Just a couple.
Cayden like putting his head in his hands.
Rian is just shaking his head.
He's just even with this, he's just like, oh gosh.
It's like a favor is one thing, but blood, Voltaire's blood, that goes too far.
He isn't only asking for a few drops. It's just
blood is blood.
Blood is blood.
Well, yes, and also blood has a lot of supernatural significances.
There are some times where letting things go their natural course isn't a bad thing.
How long have we been here?
A little over an hour at this point.
Yeah. How much time has passed?
Closer to an hour and 30 minutes, probably. Probably another hour for this all to burn to ash. Maybe more.
If we wait that long, what is roughly the time window we're looking at for when we come back?
No longer than 20 years, no less than a second.
No more than 2 days.
Oh gosh. 2 days?
No less than, like, this is vague. So 2 days-ish is in the long area.
Short area?
2 minutes-ish is in the short area.
How long would the long area be roughly if we sped up this process?
Closer to 1 day.
Either way, we're going to be gone a while.
What would you do with this blood of mine?
I'd just add it to my cap here.
And further down the line, would you do anything else with it?
I have no need to.
Would you do anything else with it?
Once it's added to my cap, it's sort of just blends in with all the rest. A little hard to take a drop of water out of the ocean, if you get my meaning.
How fast could you burn that fire?
About 5 seconds.
Let's do it.
All right, so he pricks her finger. So shakes, and then he pricks her finger with the scythe. 1, 2 drops, and then waves the wound shut. And then he waves his scythe over the fire. It's not like the fire doesn't burn bright or anything. The process of the whole thing just fast forwards.
Cool. I love that.
It all burns to ash, white ash.
Pure white ash. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, now how many of us have our weapons on us currently?
Voltaire has a shotgun and his entire store of munitions.
Cayden just has his heavy pistol, sadly.
Rian's got both his pistols, still fully loaded, his mother's hunting knife, and 4 throwing knives.
Oh my laws.
Another question.
He was ready.
Huh?
Take it with us?
Don't 2 of you have bottomless bags?
I do have a bottomless bag.
I have a bottomless bag.
I have a satchel.
Never
Right?
leave home without my purse. So I have a gun, yeah, and I have a bottomless bag.
Guess another thing we need to be concerned about is, do we have a base of operations after we get back?
Let's get back first.
So what do we do with the ash? Should we do this now? Should we do this when we get back?
I vote we do it when we get back, when we have a lot more guns.
Okay, where do we
Well, you can always just start putting ash in bags or whatever, and then at the same time, while some people are doing that, the people who are most likely to be shooting things and stabbing things put some on their weapons right now.
Let's do that.
All right.
We do that.
Yeah.
Hey, Rian covers all of his knives that he currently has on him and all the bullets in his revolvers.
Oh my gosh.
And white ash.
Cayden will take the remainder of his clip, it'd be like 8 shots or so, and he covers all of them in white ash.
And so we get a bunch of ash in the bags as well, and then our red cap friend
I don't think Voltaire would call him a friend.
directs us to leads us down to the lower parts of the city, through more of these alleyways that just sort of appear, and then he takes us into this cave. Inside there is like bioluminescent, that's what's called, bioluminescent mushrooms growing out of the walls.
This reminds me of a particularly interesting time in the 80s.
Those were fun times.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't around in the 80s, so I wouldn't
That's
know.
the point.
You youngin'.
And then so the cave goes down, and then it ends at water. And then out of the water comes a beautiful woman with green skin, green hair.
Nice. Yes. Baby.
Voltaire just takes his suit jacket, lifts it over his head, and covers his eyes.
Jenny waves at Voltaire. Hey there, handsome.
I assume this is the Jenny we were discussing earlier.
Yeah. I'm gonna die this session.
So many. She like turns to Rian, like, "Hey there."
Don't look. Don't do it. She's gorgeous.
Well, Jenny, I'm afraid to disappoint you, but we are here for a more business-like endeavor. I'm afraid you'll have to get your meals at another day. She like pouts. Aww. Taking all the fun out of it.
You just hear a very loud sigh from under Voltaire's jacket.
Rian just rolls his eyes.
Well, Jenny, these fine young souls need to be heading back to the mortal realm. They want to be dropped off outside of the Excalibur. You know where that is, right? Yeah, I've been there. Not a big fan of the town. A little too dry for my taste. Well, if you could open the way, that would be just dandy. So Jenny like slowly sinks back into the water, not before giving Voltaire a wink. And then the water, which had been like relatively clear before, suddenly gets murky until you can't see anything through it. That would be the cue for y'all to jump in. Or walk in, whichever you prefer, I suppose.
Oh, Voltaire's head first. He's just running. His jacket's still covering his head. He just jumps head first. Get me out of there!
Elianna goes after.
Rian's gonna slowly walk in, stop. He's gonna turn around to our friend behind us, think one last second, then just shake his head and walk right.
I'll be seeing you later, friend.
Tips his head towards him.
He tips his bloody cap towards you.
Ew.
And then he turns around and starts walking back into the water. What was Cayden gonna do?
Oh, Cayden was waiting for you to go in. He was making sure you didn't have any direct second thoughts.
Once they're alone, Joan turns to Cayden. You know, Godmother won't be happy about this.
It's not like she can take any more than she did last time.
All right, you ready?
Ready. Even though you still can't see his eyes, there's a certain amount of venom that is shot towards the red cap friend.
In the same order as we exited, you just appear in the parking garage of the Excalibur.
Are we wet?
Yes.
We are soaking wet.
We have soaked to the bone. We just walked in the water.
And there's like so you go in the water, and so we'll do Voltaire's experience. This is the first one that goes. So you dive into the water, and you're like swimming around for a few seconds, and you like grasp past some sort of swamp vegetation or something, and then
that would just make him swim faster. You feel it, and he's just like,
and then you feel like fingers caress your face.
Ooh.
and then you're in the and then you appear in the
a living hell for Voltaire.
Yeah.
And you're in the Excalibur garage.
Tell me he's
soaking
flat
wet,
on his face.
and you have some moss on your suit.
He's gonna burn it, isn't he?
Why?
No one else gets caressed in the face. Good. So those who walked in, they're in the water for a little longer before they pop out.
Once Voltaire gets his wits about him, he's just like, hang on, I'm back. He just does the pat down, and he's just like, okay, everything's here.
Well, that was an experience.
What time is it?
What day is it?
What day is it? What time is it?
Are all your phones waterproof?
It was in my bag. Is my bag
Mine's
waterproof?
not on me.
I don't think a flip phone is waterproof.
So that means Rian's phone is ruined.
Nice. How about the bags of holding? Are they wet inside?
No, the bags of holding are waterproof.
Okay, good. What time is
Cayden
it?
didn't bring his phone, so he's clear.
Okay, yeah. So
Rian does have a waterproof watch, though. Will that help?
When did we enter again? It was
nighttime.
It was midnight. No, it was it was
2 in the morning.
Yeah.
2-ish, 3
Probably
in the
about
morning.
yeah.
Okay, so it is now 10 p.m. that night.
Shoot.
Okay.
Elianna looks mildly horrified as she looks at her phone, and then she's like,
Elianna, you don't look too well.
And this is probably the first time any of you have ever felt actually cold in Las Vegas. Because you're actually
soaking wet outside at night.
Well, all that white ash have washed off.
oh no.
Drop your weapons, of course.
That's fine. They're all in the bag.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, the bags are fine. But yeah, I don't know. I think Cayden's clip would probably be okay.
And it's only the bullets. The rest of you still need to dry the rest of the gun out, but the clip should be all right. Yours, however,
revolver though, you might want
revolver.
Yeah, your revolver. Sorry.
Revolver and knives.
And Voltaire just look around. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I suggest we find some place to bunker down that isn't here.
That's not a bad idea.
I agree.
Anybody have any suggestions?
Can't go to my place. It was attacked.
Not my place, because I live in a tent.
Yeah, my apartment's not big enough for all of you.
Sounds like your place might be the only one, Voltaire.
Yeah, plus I also don't want to explain to my roommate.
You don't want to explain to your roommate why there's a ravenous hell witch out for your head?
That, and also don't want to explain to them who you all are.
Fair enough.
Oh, come on, that can be quite charming.
Maybe when you
snorts
covered in swamp gunk.
I think that could be said about all of us too.
He just raises a hand and he's just like point. Help! Help!
What the? Oh, where's this coming from?
Not this again. Voltaire pulls out a shotgun and he's just like, we're leaving to my place now.
What is the sound? I am curious at least.
Yeah, you hear an old man crying for help. Do you turn to look?
Nope.
Yes.
Cayden doesn't turn to look. He'll just make a perception check with what he can.
Right, I forget. Cayden can't look.
Elianna turns to look.
No, Elianna, don't.
Someone's crying for help. What do you want me to do? I'm very distracted. I missed my dinner.
What?
Didn't you eat any of the food that we were given?
Yes.
So Cayden hears footfalls, 3 total. One is kind of weak, which you surmise is the old man. His heart is racing to the point where even though he's a bit a ways, you can hear it just pounding, gasping for breath. And there are 2 much stronger set of footfalls quickly catching up to him. And the old man smells like what old men smell like. And also he smells of fear and desperation. The other 2 smell of adrenaline and very strongly of despair. Like they emanate despair.
All right, it's time to go.
Yep.
Elianna looks. What does she see? What's happening?
So she sees this old man running past the part of the garage that we're in. He is like ragged and he's being chased by these 2 bigger guys.
Do they look like thugs or?
They look human.
Nope, time to leave.
But as they come closer, you just like get all of these thoughts, like just give up. It's like weak enough that like you can tell it's not your thoughts, but it's just like aura of despair coming off of them.
Yeah, as this is happening, Voltaire's on his phone calling a driver.
Oh yeah, how long will that driver take to get here?
You remember last time?
We have cars.
It's true.
My truck is in pretty bad shape right now.
It's still drivable.
Cayden's trying to move the group away.
Does anyone else see this? See this happening?
Joan pulls out her wand. Like, are you guys really scared of like?
Rian's firing a warning shot in front of the 2 thugs.
Seriously?
Oh my!
Let's go. He wants them to stop chasing the old man. He's gonna help them.
Okay, so you shoot at them
in front of them.
In front, like at the ground in front of them.
Yes.
They like jerk back and then look at you and discipline check.
2 yellow.
As just a wave hits you as they look at you.
Where's the old man? Is he booking it?
Yes,
yeah,
hello.
He's booking it.
Good.
Hello, I need your best driver here yesterday.
Okay. You just get like this, like your mind is just like, it's not worth it. Give up. You're not even a good hunter anyways. Like you keep messing up. There's no point. But you are like after this like deluge of just like despair hits you, you're able to push it off.
Hey.
So, did I get anything to benefit a knowledge supernatural check on them? 2 and 2 with if there were blue dye or other things to help. I'd love that.
Yep. Yeah, these are despair drinkers. They are a type of emotional vampire that is relatively common on the strip. They go after typically people who have lost everything gambling, and they feed off of their despair.
What can kill them?
They can be killed by most things. They're more durable than your average human, but they can still be killed by bullets.
Excellent.
You're gonna shoot him, aren't you?
Well, are they trying to make their way towards us?
Are they going towards us now? That's enough.
Or are they going to continue after the old man? After that shot, what is it that they appear to be doing?
Okay, so what is Rian's visual reaction to what just happened?
He's just now holding his pistol aiming straight at them now, with a serious look on his face.
Voltaire's going to come up behind him, slap him upside the head, and he's just going to look him straight in the eyes and just like, you are an idiot. We need to leave. And then he turns towards them. You have no business with us. Move on.
Okay, this is a coercion check.
What's his coercion?
That's an excellent question. Probably should be more than it is. Rank 1, willpower 2.
Their eyes flash orange.
Oof.
And they hiss at you. And then they try to whammy you.
I have rank 2 discipline, 2 willpower. Jonathan has his thinking face on. I never like when Jonathan has his thinking face on after rolling for me. It never ends well.
Okay, so you just get hit with this wave of despair, and everything you've ever done wrong goes through your mind.
And for those of you who are wondering, it's a rather lengthy list.
Several hundred years worth.
And especially with how things just went when we were in Avalon, you're worthless. Like, you can't even last 2 seconds without falling victim to the Fae. A literal 6-year-old was better at dealing with the Fae than you. And so you fall, fall to your knees. And you are going to suffer a total of 6 strain.
Oh,
Okay, good.
As these things feed off of your despair.
Elianna
Has the old man disappeared?
When he talk, and he still talk.
Yeah.
is the old man gone right now?
The old man has ran off.
All right.
Around the corner.
Voltaire, he's at his knees. He's remembering every awful thing he's ever done in his life. But he has this just kind of manic smile on his face. And he's just like, oh, trust me. You could have a very nice meal off of me. But the consequences would be dire. You would mess with a member of the Order of St. Lucifer.
Okay, so you actually so that makes it really easy to determine the second half. So you failed with threats and a triumph.
There you go.
Nice.
So with that triumph, you don't need to make a coercion check against them for this to work. When they hear that, they immediately go running. They just stop and just book it.
Do they go running in after the direction of the old man?
No, they other direction.
Good.
Are you
And
okay?
you just hear a sort of manic laughter from Voltaire echo past them. That is what I thought.
All right, let's decide on somewhere to go.
I thought we were going to my place.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Is your driver here?
the driver is not here.
We have cars. Get in my car.
Our cars are not far away. But the old man peeks out from behind a pillar behind us. Are they gone?
Voltaire just looks over. He's just like, you
What?
owe me.
Thank you for driving them off. I was so overcome. It was just everything was black, and
Oh, I'm familiar with their effects.
I barely had the energy to run.
Oh, you seem to be running rather quickly. You now owe me a favor.
Okay. He shuffles over. What you want me to do? I don't know how I can thank you for saving my life.
Oh, I could think of a few ways, but right now I have neither the time nor the patience to collect them. What you need to do, you need to leave. You need to leave this town, and you need to never come back.
Why? Wait,
Oh.
why?
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Shoot!
Cayden,
I'm guessing you were looking in his eyes.
Oh, he was.
Oh no.
Cayden was already.
The whole time.
Cayden was waiting. Cayden uses quick draw to shoot it.
Okay, well, first,
I was looking straight in this man's
Oh,
eye.
man.
Shoot, Voltaire.
discipline check.
2 and 2.
God,
Boy.
why?
He was like, leave us alone, go after that old guy. And now here we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the middle of the Genesys Archives episode zone. This is Caitlin, your host or whatever, and I'm really glad to be, not seeing you, because I can't see you, but I'm glad you're here, and I hope you're enjoying the episode. This is by far my favorite one that we've released to date. So full of good stuff. This is the one where a lot of the character dynamics in this group really start to set, and you can see that in the friction that starts to develop, and everybody kind of opens up with that. I don't know, maybe it's just the high stress, but I, for one, am having a very good time. And I hope you are too. We decided to release this as a big, giant, mega double feature episode because, first of all, because it just flows better that way, and also because I didn't want to make you wait 2 weeks to hear what happens after this slip-up, this big slip-up, which, I don't know, maybe it's better to leave it as a cliffhanger, but I don't know. I don't want to release all of that tension at once, So here we are, and because this is super huge, I'm not going to be giving you a mechanics moment. We're going to get right back into the action, but before that, we have an announcement. Some nice people said, hey, we want to give you money, and we said, okay, that's fine with us, so we have a Patreon now. And we have our first patron. Normally, middle of the episode shoutouts are going to be reserved for a certain tier of patron, but because he's our very first one, I'm going to shout him out. A big thank you to Matt Rose for being our very first monetary supporter. We love you, and we're extremely psyched about that. If you want to check out our Patreon and potentially become a supporter as well, head over to patreon.com/the Genesys If you want to just generally see what's up with us everywhere else, we have accounts on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Tumblr, and you can find our Discord server through our Twitter, and we would love to see you there. The one thing we love more than playing the game and making the podcast is talking about it with each other, and we would love to talk about it with you. So if you'd like to join us, please head over to @thegenesysarchives on Twitter. If you don't want to join the Discord but still want to participate, use the hashtag #TheGenesysArchives on Twitter, or just reach out to us on any of our other social media platforms. Leave a review, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. That being said, I'm going to let you get back to the episode. Best of luck!
Yeah, you guys, you got all high and mighty and we're just like, oh, we're going to save the old person.
That's because that's what he lives for, to help people out.
Yeah.
There's no one listened to the blind man. He was the one who was like, hey, let's go. Immediately.
He didn't say anything else after that.
Oh, I tried, but Voltaire always takes the stage, and he was like, all right, you know what? Fine, Rian, let's do this.
That's fair.
And I'm like, oh.
I should, but narratively, honestly, Voltaire was looking straight in this person's eyes. There's no advantages here.
Ready for anything and flip his remaining story points. We have 6 story points to his 0.
Okay.
And no, he stood up. Zander's
you failed with a despair.
Oh!
All right, guys, somebody shoot me in the kneecaps.
Oh my gosh. To be fair, you're already pretty busted up.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. That's why I'm saying. Shoot me in the kneecaps or something.
Okay. So, we're rolling initiative, starting with that. Oh, I don't think so.
As shortly after she says that, you just hear this. Oh,
Whoa!
And immediately after that, your eyes just go vacant.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
why is it always me?
Because you keep doing things. Voltaire has such a personality, he can't not do things.
Now it's here. Okay, Jonathan.
Honestly.
You're the one who looked right into the old man's eyes and told him off.
I did. Because Voltaire was feeling overly righteous. This is why he doesn't do nice things.
The first person in the turn order will be Voltaire.
Great.
It's because of the despair.
Makes sense.
You are mind controlled, and you
I knew it!
immediately attack your friends.
This
I
is
knew
very
it.
bad. Voltaire could pick me up and snap me in half without breaking a sweat. Like, this is bad.
Your charm to break the hold.
Is that a thing? Can I try
I
it?
don't know. Do something.
I'm gonna try it, I guess.
Cayden, Can you give those?
2 yellow and 1 blue die, I think. Because Uncanny Senses, is it 2 or 1 blue die?
Uncanny Senses gives you 2.
2.
Now it
2 then.
Elianna?
2 yellow, 1 green.
Nice.
I have the worst results of everyone.
Ooh,
dang
triumph.
it.
Nice, Elianna.
Haha.
Great. Shoot me in the knees.
I'm not gonna shoot you in the knees. I don't even have my gun out.
Tackle him to the ground then.
Okay, what does Elianna do? You have a bag that has a bunch of white ash in it.
How close is the old man?
We were all kind of clumped together, weren't we? And it just walked up to us.
Yeah.
You could just dump the white ash.
Can I?
To be a good person.
It wasn't because you were a good person.
You just
because you
said you
look
tried
like
to be a
you're
good
right.
person.
You ranted at the person you saved.
You were threatening him.
It's because you ranted and threatened at the person you saved. It wasn't because you saved someone. It was because you ranted and threatened.
It's like, you owe me a favor. It's like, no, that's not how nice things work. You know, doing good and being nice is doing something good without expecting anything in return. You did the opposite of that. You pulled the Voltaire in this situation.
It's what you would have done.
I know, and I love it.
What kind of check would it be to dump a purse full of white ash on top of this old man?
That would be an athletics check.
Okay.
Or coordination. You're trying to do it faster than they can react to it.
That's not gonna go.
You could also just dump a bunch of white ash out as
So
a
that
maneuver.
other people can use it.
Yeah, so other people can just splash their wet daggers into it.
Oh, that's great. It'll stick real good to that.
Convenient. It would stick better.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be convenient for putting it
And
on
to be
bullets.
fair,
No.
not only do you have the Skinwalker to worry about, you now have a very mind-controlled me.
I'm
That's
more
all-
worried about you than the Skinwalker at this point.
In the case of most dangerous members of the party, you're the least right now.
True, because I'm
you-
kind of beat up.
Because you were drained by the despair vampires, and you had a bunch of your blood drained by
The red cat.
by the red cat.
How
All right.
far away are our cars? Just so I know.
They're on a different floor of the parking garage.
Of course they
How
are.
many floors away?
Down, we were on the bottom floor. We are currently 4 floors up.
All right, we're gonna just dump the ash on the ground, I guess.
Well, actually, Voltaire goes first.
Oh right, I forgot.
Of the group.
Who said my name then? All right, never mind.
Okay.
After Voltaire.
What is Voltaire going to do now that he's mind controlled?
Well,
Excellent question.
I have a blessed, what equates to a blessed combat knife, a shotgun, a cold iron clip, a silver clip, and 2 silver clips and 2 blessed clips.
You immediately shoot Rian.
I
Shotgun.
probably deserve it.
Yeah. So so basically,
Can
we
I
get
roll to make that harder? What?
if you have dodge or something.
Yes, I do.
You
I have 2 ranks in it.
Okay, then you suffer 2 strain. So basically, what happens? Stowe shouting at her, or him currently, and it's voice suddenly changes. Oh, I don't think so. Then expletive, and then immediately turn around and shoot
Fire.
Rian.
So I suffer 2 strain to upgrade it twice.
Yep.
Wait, would I recognize his voice immediately or not?
I don't think you've
After
heard
it
it.
changes.
I don't think you've ever heard it talk.
You do recognize.
Cayden's going to be slightly more pissed after all this is over.
So you're going to take 2 strain as you are inwardly trying to fight against the mind control. And you are going to be hit for shotgun deals 8, right?
Oh!
Yes, shotgun deals base 8. It's got blast 4, knock 2, and
Yeah,
vicious.
so that's 9 damage and you're on your butt. So you're blasted onto your rear.
Am I like 1 range band away or something?
Yeah.
Oh. And then I realize, then the voice sounds familiar, and his eyes just go wide. He's like, "No, not again."
All right, now it's Eliana's turn.
All right, how far away is the nearest something to hide behind?
There's a decent number of cars. So there's a car within 5 feet.
Okay, cool. She's gonna dump the ash on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's gonna run and hide behind a car.
Okay.
She's gonna get out her gun.
Did you save some of that ash for yourself to then use on the gun?
Probably.
She already did.
Probably. Did she? No, I didn't say
Didn't know.
that.
It wasn't staged.
She didn't. Voltaire just shot Rian. She runs and hides behind the car. You're lucky she had the presence of mind to dump the ash on the ground.
All right, then it's Rian's turn.
He just shot him with a shotgun.
So, jump up. I'm getting up as an incidental.
Nice.
And
Good job.
holy heck.
There's a pile of white ash.
Right there.
And you just see Voltaire with a glazed look in his eye, big old creepy smile on his face, with a big old shotgun, and he's kind of swaying. He's like,
Okay. So, quick draw improved. He's going to draw 2 of his throwing knives with that.
Okay.
Would it be a maneuver to cover them in dust, or would it be a maneuver to just move in and cover at the same time?
That would be 2 maneuvers, because you need to get over there, and then you need to cover them in the ash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best option at this point.
All right. Dash over, cover your throwing knives in ash.
And he's going to do combined throwing knife check at that skinwalker.
I thought you'd go after me.
If it's dead, it can't control you no more.
What's your range light?
2 yellow and a green.
All right.
We'd rather not kill you, buddy.
I'd rather you not kill me, too.
You throw your 2 throwing knives. The old man is now much faster than it was before. One misses it entirely, and another slides right across his cheek. But instead of it bleeding, the skin just kind of droops, like paper almost. I have no idea how hard it is to maintain human skin.
I like to know how you're still around. I killed you years ago.
About that. You don't know as much as you think you do. All right, Cayden's turn.
So many creative things to do. Okay, we're going to do a talent called Hamstring Shot. With the ranged weapon I have, so it would be a ranged light check. The damage is halved if it's successful, but the character would be immobilized until my next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, half the damage.
If it's successful.
Damage by soak.
So I have 2 and 4, and I will choose to aim twice.
Story point?
That's
Actually, I'll move slightly farther away, but then I will aim the other one. So I'll take 2 strain to...
Sorry, I take 2 strain from my 2 maneuvers.
Sure, I'll do a story point.
Okay.
Flip it back.
Wait, who are you shooting at? The Skinwalker?
Oh, the Skinwalker. As fun as it would be to shoot Voltaire in the kneecap.
You failed with 3 advantages.
Yeah, it is enough to crit. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's crit her. Crit her!
Crit her.
Hamstrung.
That's ironic.
The target loses their free maneuver until this critical injury is healed.
That's not that bad. That's slightly better. So it was the same shot. Just
all right. So yeah, you shoot her in the hamstring. Just
which was what he was trying to do. It just didn't work the best as what he wanted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so for the first time, your weapon actually hurts this thing. She falls to one knee.
Mm-hmm.
This skin was getting annoying anyways. So she rips off the old man skin. Then she transforms as she pulls up the next skin.
Into what?
Into a cougar.
Oh, fun! This is not going to be easy.
No, it's not.
So does she suffer strain whenever she does any maneuvers now?
No, she just lost her free maneuver.
Loses the free maneuver, so she can still perform maneuvers.
Mm-hmm.
It just costs strain to do any maneuver. All right. And then she is attacking Rian's the closest.
Of course.
And so now with the old man disguise torn off, you get that full wallop of fear again. So everyone is going to make
fear checks.
A fear check.
Except for me.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're fine.
He's not fine.
Define fine.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm very much not okay.
That's true. But you are not afraid because you are too busy being mind controlled. Yeah, Joan's scared.
I think we're all going to be scared.
She's not running away screaming, but that's enough to not be great. It gets a little bit stronger. Rian?
Yellow.
Rian is going to spend his next turn running away.
Oh, nice.
In terror. Actually.
Or what?
Nah, you're frozen.
Help!
Oh, he's staggered. No, that's worse.
I'm frozen? What?
That's worse.
That is
frozen in terror.
So much worse.
All right. And then Elianna?
2 yellow.
We're all at the same level by the sound of it.
Elianna is also frozen in terror, hiding behind that car.
That's fair. This person just ripped their skin off and then turned into a cougar, so...
And
You at least have a shield.
And your fear is so strong.
Oh, no.
The Skinwalker's characteristics all increase by 1.
Sorry, everyone.
Feeds off of that delicious fear. What's Cayden's discipline?
3 and 2.
Better than the rest of us so far.
Hey! Nicely done, Cayden.
Well, we'd like to preemptively apologize to anyone who's listening right now, because most of us are about to die.
EPK, baby.
Just saying. It's not looking good, folks.
When does it ever?
Well. Okay. You are done with this crap.
Yes.
I feel so good right now. You have no idea.
You succeeded with a triumph.
Yes.
So you are fearless. You no longer are affected at all by the Skinwalker's aura of fear. You are no longer afraid of Skinwalkers at all. You are done with them and want them. You're just ready to kill them.
You know, with Rian realizing who the Skinwalker is, I think this would justify him being frozen stiff.
And I think Cayden being absolutely done with this is very narratively satisfying at the very moment.
Oh,
He's been done for a bit. This whole, as soon as we got back, it's just been one after another. I'm like, that was a dumb decision. Oh my gosh, I am just, screw this.
So yeah, you are completely unaffected. And so then this thing leaps on to Rian.
Suffering 2 strain for dodge.
Rian was like right next to the pile of white ash. Does that have any effect on anything?
No.
Okay.
Suffering 2 strain to upgrade it twice with dodge.
Unless if it were to get like enough advantages, it could fall into the ash.
Cool. You mean threats?
I meant threats. I don't know why I said
Disadvantages,
advantages. All right, so it now has a brawn of 5.
That really sucks.
Wait, flip
it back.
Curses.
Oh boy!
Help!
Oh no!
That was what we call it in the business a double triumph.
No.
Oh no!
So it's going to deal 10 damage to you. Does that knock you out?
Minus my soak, that's 7. That puts me at 13 out of 12.
Yes.
Okay.
So the answer is yes.
Then it's going to use its 2 triumphs to add 100 to the crit result.
Jonathan's really out here trying to kill us, huh?
I was just going to say, speaking as the person who has lost the most characters, I have lost characters for less.
You, my friend, are a very, very lucky man.
Oh my god.
You have got to be kidding me.
9.
You have got to be kidding me.
On a scale from 0 to 99, you rolled a 9.
That is absolutely insane.
It's
you rolled a 0 on the 10 on the 10 one, and a and the 9 on the. So this is a horrific injury.
Of course. What do I do?
Roll a d10 to determine which of your characteristics are affected.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, this is not a gruesome injury. So
permanent, really, right?
From this, after a decent-sized hospital stay.
You best get a good taste.
So this is a 109 severity, right?
Yep.
You best get a good taste for hospital.
So your agility is reduced by 1.
No.
He's still
That's rough.
unconscious, though, right?
What's the difficulty to heal this one?
Hard.
So that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're unconscious.
Yeah, you're unconscious. It won't matter for the fight, but yeah.
Reduce agility by 1.
Yeah, so the cougar leaps at you and slashes you down the sides and takes a bite out of your chest.
Attack from a scar from this
Just rips
damn creature.
flesh out of your chest.
Whoa.
Actually,
Now,
I think it rips. This is agility. It rips flesh out of your leg. Takes a chunk out of your leg.
now, I would like to ask a question.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to use this as part of my narrative? I'm done with this. While also hearing Rian go down out of turn, spend a story point to shift. Is that something I'm allowed to do?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes! I'm so excited. I'm so curious.
Yeah, for the first time, we see
Nasty.
He's gonna kind of just drop his gun more in the direction of Joan in the case she wants to use it, I guess. But he's just done. He's not even really thinking about it. He's like in mid-stride as he's going to perform a shift.
Discipline check? What's it?
It's still 2 or 3 and 2.
Okay.
Not the best, but what's the difficult one? Let me check the difficulty.
What's the
of it
difficulty
again.
for yours?
I believe it's average. Yeah, it's average.
Success with a triumph.
Yes.
Okay, so describe what you turn into.
He like hunches his shoulders down as he prepares to get on all fours. And as he does, he has hair that just starts growing all across his arms with a mixture of colors because his fur is now adapted also to the color of his clothes. But predominantly, he is very much a white wolf. He is a
giant
dire wolf.
Oh.
With the exception of where his clothes would be, which more or less represent the grayness of his back, but predominantly under his belly, on his face. But there is a slight kind of almost raccoon-like mark across his eyes to still represent the blindness.
And then it is Joan's turn.
What can I do with a triumph like in that case? I'm curious.
You can increase your brawn by an additional 1 if you want.
I say yes.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Do
For
it.
the duration of this transformation. Joan looks at Cayden and she is going to cast a spell. Yes.
Come on,
Triumph.
Joan. Yes.
Okay. So Joan shouts, "Bouclier!" And a shimmering shield appears over. Okay, she can only really affect one person. Over Cayden.
Okay.
All damage you receive will be reduced by 5. You gain +3 defense. What can the Triumph do here? Well, we've rolled the Triumph as being able to count, like, adding +5 to this before, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, then that's all damage you suffer is -10. A force field of shimmering silver light appears around this white wolf.
Can I also say this? Okay, so he also has a soak right now of 5, which means all damage is reduced actually by like 15.
All right, then it is Voltaire's turn.
Is there any possible way?
You can make a discipline check to try to break free.
Rank 2, willpower 2. It's worth the try.
It is worth the try.
I would love to flip a story point.
Done
Flip it back.
and done.
That's what I was expecting.
Break free, Voltaire.
I would try to say something to help, but I'm frozen in terror.
Voltaire does not break free.
It was worth the try.
Voltaire turns around and shoots at Joan.
Okay.
Does
Jonathan.
Joan have anything?
You're technically playing me. What clip? What did I shoot Rian with?
Standard?
Just standard stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I still have a cold iron clip.
Yeah, you'd maneuver to switch to cold iron, and he shoots at
What
Voltaire.
can I say? He's prepared.
Too prepared.
What was your ranged heavy again?
Rank 3, 2 skill.
And then we're going to flip a story point to help him out.
This way. Or this?
Yep.
Are we going to flip one back? Should we flip one back?
Yes.
Does
Whose
Joan
choice is that?
Does Joan want to flip one back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's no reason not to.
There's one thing, you know what Joan really enjoys in life?
Living.
Living.
Living. I think everyone here is in that boat.
I know
And so you're only at short range, which makes this really easy for you.
Help.
Another 9 damage with 2 advantages.
Blast 4, knockdown, and vicious 2.
So Joan has a soak of 3, so that's 6 wounds out of 10.
Ooh, Joan's a squishy girl.
She's mage.
And she gets knocked off her feet as well.
This is the worst.
Technically, knockdown is also supposed to cost advantages, but Joan is not the sort of person that could stay standing after being hit with shotgun blast.
That's fair.
Yeah, so she's going to suffer some strain as well. She hits the ground, and then it is Elianna's turn, but she is staggered, frozen in fear.
Can I do anything? Can I try?
Nope.
Great. Love it.
Ground you can.
Sorry.
But right now, you're just watching, and you are absolutely petrified.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I said, shoot me in the kneecap.
I would if I could.
Okay.
Rian was too worried about facing an old foe he believed was dead.
I don't think he's worried about anything right now since he's passed out.
Yeah.
Throwing it
He's
up.
unconscious.
He was.
Yeah. So Elianna can't
Past
do
tense.
anything.
Nice.
Rian is KO'd
You're welcome.
and currently is being eaten.
Help.
So it's Cayden's turn.
While it's distracted because it's enjoying its old nemesis, Cayden's going to make the one maneuver to get into engaged, I believe. Is it one maneuver? Because I moved one ran away.
I would suggest using 2 maneuvers.
To make a pit stop at the wide ash?
Oh, don't worry. He's right there. He's going, like, Rian's next to the ash pit.
Rian got knocked a bit away when a giant cougar jumped on him.
Voltaire.
Ah, okay. Well, then he'll make his way. He was going to make his way towards that first anyway.
Okay, yeah.
I just assumed it was on the way. But okay, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit slightly out of the way.
One maneuver to get there. And he's actually going to grab some of it in his mouth and also cover his claws with it. Because, mind you,
That tastes wonderful.
it doesn't matter. He don't care.
Yeah,
He doesn't
business.
care.
He's
And also just because it's really cool to think about it, shifters aren't like werewolves where they lose control of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Shifters have full control of what they do when they're in their form. So he'll have his claws covered in it, and he'll take a nice good gulp, run like kind of not gulp, like a bite out of it as he's running. And then the second maneuver, so I'll take 2 strain for that, and then I'll make a brawl check.
All right.
Hit him hard.
What's your brawl?
Currently, it's 2 ranks, 4 brawn.
Jeez.
I will spend a story.
Jonathan flipped it back.
Frick. Okay, how much damage do you deal?
9.
Ooh, okay, 9 damage. With that ash, you actually ignore its soak. And then, with this double despair,
It was a bad frick. It was a bad frick.
He's got to step on. Yeah, I just know.
this thing, like, slaps you back.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's stopped for, like, a split second by Joan's shield. But there's a crack of, like, dark power.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks Joan's spell entirely.
Oh!
Of course it does.
And knocks you back. You're going to take 8 damage.
Okay.
Because it was flying back, correct?
And he wouldn't get the 10 buff from the spell because she before she hit him.
Right? Because it broke before he flew
it. Mm-hmm.
They still has 5 sub. That's pretty.
Yeah, it's not the worst, but
it's not the worst, not the best, not the worst.
But the protective spell that Joan worked so hard to make him invulnerable just got shattered.
I'm so mad.
I mean, narrative flare. That could happen like simultaneously as Voltaire shoots Joan.
I guess.
He loses concentration?
That's fair. Yeah. All right.
Narrative flare.
Well, she was holding on to the spell, but that could explain that could help why she wasn't able to like reinforce it against the assault.
Right.
That's Cayden's turn. Then it's the Skinwalker's turn. The Skinwalker is going to turn around, and it is going to shift into a giant, like 12-foot tall grizzly bear.
Oh, never mind. Not close in size. Okay.
Oh no.
It's essentially like a dire bear with its now 6 brawn.
It's not gonna be good, guys. Cayden might die.
You have any ranks in dodge or anything?
No.
Any defense?
No. He didn't have anything. He's a wolf. He did have defense before. That spell was gonna basically allow us to go toe to toe, and now it's broken because it was a double despair. Why?
Okay.
Flip it back.
Flipping back.
That's 17 damage.
Soak makes it 12. What's your threshold?
Well, not good. So the other downside of shifting is you still also take other forms besides strain. The only thing that you really maintain is strain. So my wound threshold had decreased during this time.
What?
So it's currently at 8. So I'm actually at
You're over.
15 out of 8.
15?
15?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Didn't you heal wounds from when the one Fae healed you?
Yeah, but I took 3 just now.
Okay.
That's right.
So 15 out of 8, that's plus 70. Wow, you guys are rolling lucky this time around.
You're kidding.
Oh my gosh, I can't handle this. A 6?
What is that, though?
What critical did he get?
Overpowered?
Nope! Activating heroic ability. Screw that.
What does it do again?
I'm activating survival of the fittest. I do not care.
1 or 2 story points?
It's worth 2, but I'd have duration 2 on it, I believe. But I have to spend 2 story points to do it, yeah.
So what he would have happened is the target leaves themselves open and the attacker may immediately attempt it.
Oh my gosh.
But
Using the same pool.
survival of the fittest.
But using the heroic ability Unbowed that I've titled Survival of the Fittest, he's going to ignore that.
Ignore
With
that.
period. He can completely ignore critical injuries for a duration of 2 rounds right now, I believe. That's it.
Okay.
But isn't he still unconscious since he
Yep.
went over his limit? Yeah.
Yes,
At least don't get swiped at twice.
pretty much.
I am waiting for a savior at this point.
I think we all are at this point. It's Joan's turn.
It said earlier that magic can hurt it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Do you have something along the something along the flavor of blast it into the nearest wall?
Yes. Yeah.
Do
or
it.
light it on fire?
Combat magic's like Joan's best spell is her shield spell.
There's no better time like the present to learn.
Okay, Joan's gonna search her French vocabulary for the right word.
Yeah.
Okay, Joan shouts, "Laissez!" And let's see if this works. For those who don't know French like me, that word means leave. So Joan casts the spell, and a sudden blast of force hits the skinwalker, sending it flying. And it slams into the concrete wall with and cracks the pillar. So it takes the damage 1.
From the force.
Well, it actually doesn't take much damage from the attack itself. It absorbed
Right.
like all but 1 of that. But then it took the hit from crashing into the concrete pillar.
How much did that deal?
There's no official rules in Genesys, but in the Star Wars RPG, they do have rules for hitting
damage.
objects with the move force power, which this essentially is what's happening. Both the bear and the pillar are silhouette too. So that is 20 damage to our friend there.
What's it soak?
Hi.
A lot.
Yeah, so it smashes the concrete pillar, and then, we've all forgotten this by now, Voltaire's driver shows up.
Why would he do that? There's this gigantic bear.
It flew
He's
right in
coming
front
for
of
me.
him.
Unfortunately for him, I'm still controlled by Nasty McCreepy over here.
Yep. Now it's Voltaire's turn.
Can I try again, and do I get any sort of advantages for this thing being yeeted into a pillar?
Yeah. We'll give you a blue die.
I'll take what I can get at this point.
Amen to that. Help!
All right, Voltaire is finally able to break free.
Yeah!
Oh my gosh.
Well, he's going to take half a second to just look around, and take stock, because he's been mind controlled.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, this is not good. He turns to Elianna. What are you doing?
Is Elianna still frozen in terror?
Elianna, on her turn, she would be back to herself. So yeah, she's recovering.
Yeah, no, she just like looks at you and she looks just absolutely terrified.
Ah, that's why. Okay. Well, best thing he's got is his shotgun, and he's just gonna turn around, specifically not look at the eyes of whatever this thing is. Fool me once, fool me twice. It's still shame on me because I'm an idiot. He's gonna yell at Elianna and he's just be like, "Get in the car!" And he's gonna fire off a shot.
He missed. He hit a car, and the car is now like like freaking out.
Excellent, excellent. He just turned on the spot. He still has a maneuver.
Yep.
Doesn't he have 2 maneuvers?
Yeah.
He used one. Oh, wait, no, his stuff was already coated in ash, yeah. Okay.
And he already had his shotgun out
Yep.
Right.
because he shot Rian and Joan with it.
Correct.
Yep, he did.
Covered in
This is going to kill him. Oh, this is going to kill him. He is going to cover himself in ash. He's going to take off his jacket and just dump the ash over his head.
Smart.
And then he is going to take out his blessed knife. And he's just like, okay. He's got shotgun in one hand, knife in the other, and he's still yelling at people, get to the car.
Which is hilarious because 2 of them are out.
So is that your turn?
That's as much as he can think of.
All right, Eliana's turn.
Okay. How many maneuvers would it take for me to get to the car?
1.
Is it possible for me to get someone else to the car?
Cayden is the only one close enough for you to try.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't he still currently like Wolfie Boy form?
No, when he was knocked out, he
Back to
shifted back. So Elianna would have to make an athletics check to grab him and pull him.
Shoot. I have 2 green. How hard a check would this be? He's a beefy boy.
Yeah,
He's back to 3. He's back to 3.
What's Cayden's encumbrance?
8. Yeah, it's 8. Because it'd be 5 plus brawn.
3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then that is a hard check.
Can I? Okay, you can suffer strain. Cause I wanna. Can I just shove? What do painkillers do?
They temporarily remove wounds.
How many wounds per painkiller?
5.
Okay. Would that get him awake?
Yes.
Can I prop him up, shove a pill in his mouth, and then dump some good stuff down there to wash it down automatically, bypassing the swallowing process? If no, that's fair. Yes! We're gonna do that!
Yeah, so you're using 2 maneuvers, no actions?
Yeah, so Voltaire shouts, no, would that be a maneuver?
Yeah, that'd be a maneuver to shove the stuff down his throat. You wouldn't have to suffer 2 strain, though, since you're not doing any actions.
That's right.
Can this be an action, and then I do a maneuver after that?
Huh?
Can this be an action?
She wants to still get to the car.
And then I do...
Yeah, so it's a maneuver to reach the car. He's, his unconscious body is basically right by the car.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Excellent.
The car is, right here.
Perfect. Okay, Elianna is gonna run over to the car, prop up Cayden, pull out some pills and a bottle, shove a pill between his lips, shove the bottle between his lips, tilt it upwards, apologize, shove her stuff back in her bag, and use the talent Let's Ride to get into the car as an incidental.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Jumps in the car. I like that.
He, coughs and spurts. Just...
Get in the car.
All right, I guess. What's happening?
Get in the car. Come on.
Wait, Cayden has a turn, doesn't he?
He's conscious now.
Oh, yeah. Cayden's conscious now.
Eliana's furiously waving him to try and get him into the car, the door's open. She's like, come on.
As if he can notice that.
We need to get Joan in the
That's true. Look, she's freaking out, okay?
He'll, quickly ask, what's happening so he can get a grasp of the situation. He expects a quick answer.
Voltaire's free, Rian's down. It's probably gonna attack Joan, because she just threw it into the wall. And look, there's a car here, and I'm in the car. Come into the car.
Just for curiosity's sake, and this is for my benefit, not Cayden's, really. How does the Skinwalker look right now? Besides furious, does it look
hurt?
Yes.
So it's bleeding from where you scratched it, from where you attacked it. Got claw marks over its chest, and its shoulder is dislocated. Cayden does smell the blood coming off of this thing. Everyone who can see that hit into the pillar dislocated its shoulder, so it's one of its arm or paws is kind of dangling.
Do we remember our conversation from earlier? He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day.
Oh, yeah, so we're just going to leave Rian there. That's lovely.
Eliana's actively convincing the driver in the car not to drive away at this time.
How far away is Cayden from Joan?
Short range. The car is a bit in between them, though.
So she's on the opposite side of the car?
She's in front of the car. He's in the side of the car. It's not super in the way, but the shortest path would be to leap over the hood of the car.
I think this is actually an agency decision.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
Self-preservation.
What's self-preservation versus...
Not completely, but basically, yeah.
Okay.
It's not exactly that.
What exactly is the choice here?
It's to either get in the car, as Elianna has insisted, or to jump over the car hood in front of Joan.
Okay. Okay, so here's a story point. There's currently 1 story point on your side of the pool. So if you refuse this, you will have no story points. What's it going to be? Selfishness or heroics?
Or heroism.
Self-preservation or heroism?
We're going for heroism.
Whoa.
All right.
For those of you who are wondering, we now have 0.
I have 6.
Story.
I will use ready for anything at this moment.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we
I
have
still have 5.
We have one.
yeah, we have one.
All right.
That's better than
And
none.
so Cayden goes in front of Joan, and then what?
Oh, he'll shoot.
All right. Currently medium range from the...
Correct. But with the heavy pistol, I believe it's still in range. We're
Okay.
actually still going to use hamstring shot because I can use that once per round.
Success.
Yes!
The gods of chaos have smiled upon us.
You are going to suffer 6 strain. 6 plus 5. So that's 11, reduced by half. That brings it back down to 6. That's 6 damage. And it now
Cannot move.
can't move. Okay, it's hitting the other hamstring. And
We just hear roar.
Actually, make it its other arm because it's still a bear, right?
yeah.
Shoot the other arm, the one that's not dislocated.
Okay. Yeah, so you shoot it in the arm and it as it's turning around and it goes to charge and it collapses its own weight, collapses it forwards. And it is Joan's turn. Joan has an idea.
Do it. I don't care what it is.
I love it.
Do it.
I love it already.
So do I.
I get a lot of strain, but I succeeded.
Yes!
All right. Yes.
What is she
Get 'em.
doing?
All right. And the bear freezes, shimmering silver energy around it. And Joan is sweating, beads, and she's still bleeding from that shotgun shot from earlier.
Cayden's bleeding too.
Shaking, but she is now frozen. The bear, it is now staggered for as long as she holds this spell.
Somebody end it.
Oh, let me at him. Oh, let me at him.
Okay, Joan is 1 below her strain threshold,
Holy crap. Okay.
God dang.
but she is holding this thing in place.
Voltaire,
It cannot
end it.
attack or cast spell.
Let's kill
Or do
him.
anything.
The next person is
Voltaire, I believe.
Run up to it.
Yeah.
It's
point,
completely bound.
Shot.
Yeah, it can't do anything. It is locked.
Do it.
Oh, and
Do it.
right up to it. It's not looking it in the eyes. Fool me once. But he's leveling it at the side of its. He's leveling a shotgun point blank at the side of its head, and he just smiles as he does it. Roast in hell.
The skinwalker can barely move its mouth. See you there. It just collapses. Our assassin is dead. Joan collapses and drops her wand.
Elianna sticks her
Cayden?
head out of the car. Is it dead? Like really, really dead?
You hear 3 more shots.
Elianna winces with each one of them.
So this is cover your ears.
Yeah. This is a sawed-off 12 gauge. So you hear 3 more shots, and then Voltaire walks back to where you are, and he's not looking very nice.
No one is except for Elianna.
She's soaking wet, but
currently covered in blood
And dust.
and ash, and he's just it's as dead as I can currently make it.
Is someone going to help revive Rian a little with some painkillers?
yes, Elianna gets out of the car.
Don't do anything.
Fair enough.
Joan is still bleeding, and she is nigh past, right on the verge of passing out.
Cayden had his, when he made that shot, he had his gun focused on it until the job was done. And then after those last 3 shots, which he didn't even wince at, he just slowly lowers it and, starts shaking and just, leans against the car. Just really exhausted and really bloodied as well.
Does the skinwalker go back to human form after that?
After a bit, a bear for a few minutes before the magic wears off, and it just turns into a naked Navajo woman with a bear skin over her.
Does anybody know if Rian's still alive? Eliana's averting her eyes. She's not looking.
Looks over. It's
You probably hear a moan or something.
No, he's knocked out still, but we could maybe see it.
Unconscious. I'm not moving.
Wait, I'll make a perception check. I want to see if his heart's still beating.
Yeah, dude.
From where I'm at.
Cold.
It's
he is breathing and his heart is beating.
He's still alive
Okay.
at the moment.
Elianna picks her way carefully and shakily through the carnage over to where Rian is to give him some painkillers.
and probably chug it down with the alcohol again.
Well, yes, I don't know how
stuff.
else to get you swallow it. Okay.
As this is happening, Voltaire is making a call into the order just for
cleanup.
For cleanup. And he also produced one of the bottles of alcohol that he doesn't care about and a lighter. He's going over, he's drenches the various leftovers of this lady.
Wait.
Burns him.
Before he burns, Rian's like, don't do that!
Why?
Because she's not dead.
Why is she not dead?
White Ash temporarily kills skinwalkers.
Then how do we kill the thrice damned
By
thing?
revealing its true name.
How do we know that?
That's nice to know before now.
Rian,
How do you think I feel about this?
Rian, I am not.
You had better hope that whatever doctor you go and see fixes you up real nice, because I'm going to beat the hell out of you next time I see you.
Hey, shut up! You're the one who looked in its eyes after begging it to come over here. Rian, I am not very happy with you right now, since I specifically asked which was more effective.
Because I didn't know at the time. The moment I realized it was her, that was when I did.
Oh, it is her. Oh, that's just love. All right, you know.
Voltaire then proceeds to unload every bit of munition into this corpse.
Elianna just covers her ears and closes her eyes.
Joan does the same thing. She just is leaning up against the side of the car and just covers her ears.
Yeah, he unloads every amount of munition possible into this corpse.
What's
then
left of it?
Pause. I don't think I could narratively justify this, but I'm the one who has all the facts.
Okay.
How? Is there any possible way that I could use all the facts to at least figure out where to find this thing's name?
Yes, you could find out where.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Now has story.
I'm flipping.
I'm
using angelic insight.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what it's called. That's awesome.
What does that mean in this case?
What does that mean? It's one of the few times that he can tap into a little bit of the angelic blood.
Okay.
At least what's left of it.
Yeah, it was true. That's one of the reasons why I was just like, figure out where this name is. Not what, where.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Voltaire's countenance changes for a moment. You see the silhouette of something around him. You feel the presence of something big. The only thing you can compare to this presence that you suddenly feel, in terms of intensity, not in terms of how it makes you feel, but in terms of intensity, is meeting Morgan and Elaine. This dark light silhouette around Voltaire for just a second, as if the message is carried on angel's wings. You now know the reservation that this thing came from originally.
I can't say that doesn't come in handy.
What doesn't come in handy?
I know.
Yeah, what just happened? I felt something.
That is wonderful, actually. The question is, how far away is it? Because it's home.
It's a decent ways away.
During this, Rian is walking to the skinwalker and taking everything off of its remains. And then he's taking some rope, and if there's anything left of the head, he's tying the eyes shut and the mouth shut. And then he's tying the hands and the feet together.
The reservation is in Arizona. So, not terribly far, but a decent place.
Look, it's dead for now. Let's just get somewhere where we can...
I can have a doctor come to my place.
I don't know how long she'll be dead for, but
we still have white ash. I vote we coat the damn thing in it, shove it in a bag of holding, and then, as soon as we're all stitched up, we drive as fast as we can to this reservation. Any objections?
Rian's just too tired to even object.
All right, fine. Let's just get out of here.
Excellent. The order should be here soon for damage control.
Cayden's going to make his way over to the car. Is that where Elianna and Joan are right now?
Joan is currently leaning against the side of the car.
Okay.
Rian goes, Voltaire, would you be able to burn these skins, please? At the
With
very
pleasure.
least?
The bear skin and the cougar skin are the only ones that you find on her.
When Cayden gets towards the car, he just kind of stands in front of the side and is just like, "Are you all right, Joan?"
I probably need a hospital.
I think we all do.
I think that's
like still bleeding, shocked. Like
Cayden has several gashes across his chest and his lip is bleeding and there's ash kind of coming out of it, still kind of mixed with the blood a little bit.
Rian is attempting to attempting to walk, but with his chunk out of his leg, he's just not able to even stand anymore.
Hey, Voltaire,
What?
you owe me a new jacket.
I'll buy you a whole damn wardrobe.
I really like this jacket.
Going
Joan's starting to get a little delirious.
Whole damn wardrobe.
Cayden just starts laughing slightly. He's like, "All right, let's get you in this car and let's get it."
Let's get going.
Rian's now crawling. Is anyone going to help him out?
I think Voltaire's the closest one who isn't severely injured. Voltaire will come and he'll come get you on your feet.
Yep, and so we get in the car and we head off, and that is where
And
we'll end this session.
what are we getting in terms of XP?
I'm gonna go vomit and then make some calls, and then we're gonna change, and then we're gonna call the ambulance.